Okay, texting, Snapchatting, Instagramming, Facebooking, gaming, whatever it is, social media has never been closer to our fingertips.
Right
There you
here.
go.
That's so true, but when exactly did we all become slaves to our cell phones? Tonight in a special report, our Bill Churchwell takes a look at why so many of us are in a relationship with these things and what you can do to break the addiction.
First thing I do when I wake up in the morning, check my phone. I do it in class. I do it just all the time.
Del Mar student Sawyer Glover admits she's got a problem.
Most of the time I'm just bored.
Scrolling, typing, chatting, liking, all from the palm of her hand.
Definitely more for like texting. I don't really get on Facebook, but if it's like something like Snapchat, I'm always on Snapchat.
The latest trend, Periscope, an app that allows users to broadcast themselves through a live video feed. Endless social apps that can steal our attention and time from our day.
Majority of my day, probably at least 5 hours.
It's always on me.
3 to 4 hours a day.
I'm embarrassed to admit it, but I'd say that either I'm thinking about I need to get to it or I'm on it probably about 20 or 30% of the day.
Well, it's instant gratification.
Rita Hernandez is a counselor at Del Mar College. She says picking up your phone to check for alerts or text messages several times a day could lead to something more.
Any behavior has you losing sleep or forgetting to eat, or you're constantly thinking about that, any of those behaviors can become addictive. And texting, yeah, sure, can be one of them.
She says it becomes an addiction when your time spent on the phone begins to disrupt your daily activities and even causes you to disconnect with family or friends. Just like other addictions, we can also become hooked on our smartphones from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed. A recent report by ABC News shows that the average person checks their phone about 150 times a day. I wanted to find out just how much time I spent on my own smartphone, so I installed a free app called Break Free. It tells me my usage throughout the day, a typical day here in the newsroom. Well, right now my addiction score is a 65, a little bit in the red here, and my day isn't over.
I think a lot of times we're wanting sort of that instant feedback, whether that is to know that somebody is paying attention, that somebody cares about the same things that we care about.
But the constant use and constantly looking down can be dangerous too if someone isn't paying attention, from walking to getting behind the wheel. After taking a look at crash videos of teen drivers, according to the AAA Foundation for Traffic Safety, distracted driving was a factor in nearly 6 out of 10 moderate to severe teen crashes. Many of those teens were looking down at their phones. So what can you do to help loosen the grip on your smartphone? Try putting it out of sight or turning down the volume. Set an auto reply if you are in a meeting or class. That is something you can also do using the Break Free app.
One thing that I found interesting that I've heard some folks do is when going out to dinner, just kind of playing a game. Everybody puts their cell phones in the center of the table, and whoever checks it first has to pay for dinner. So finding creative ways to be able to reconnect with the people that you want to connect with.
Bill Churchwell, 3 News.
Okay.